plaintiff, Cherie Stone Zachary, was married to the defendant for 18 years, and they had 3 children. Cherie claims she believes the defendant started cheating 2 years into the marriage. And the final straw was when the defendant got involved in a couple of pyramid schemes. Cherie is suing her ex for back child support. Defendant Keyshawn Zachary says all of the problems in their marriage were a result of money. Keyshawn says he never had enough money to make Cherie happy, and since their divorce, she's been dating more prominent men. Keyshawn insists child support is being garnished from his paycheck.
Start with you.
The defendant and I were married for 18 years, and I'd say it was a decent marriage. It was a good marriage. I think people considered us the perfect couple. We have 3 beautiful kids. I think within the marriage, Keyshawn started to see other women on jobs and flirt with my sisters and make sexual innuendos with my niece, and I think that took a downward spiral.
When did he start that?
Maybe, well, from what I know, maybe 2-3 years into the marriage.
2 years after getting married, he started doing all these things?
Well, with my sisters, it was probably later on, but with women on the jobs.
And you found that out?
Yeah, in one instance, I did see him with a woman out to lunch.
You forgave him, obviously?
Yeah, the most important thing for me was keeping my kids' family together.
What caused you all to break up? Was there a defining incident?
Within 18 years, I think intimacy levels do diminish. And I think the final straw for me was he had got involved in a couple of pyramid schemes. And he started taking time and money away from the family. So ultimately, we lost our house. You know, and within this time, I was taking care of kids. I was back in school and taking care of a sick mother who eventually passed away.
Okay. You give me some background, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, you know, I am Superman. I am a super dad. I was a super husband.
Who used in Viagra. Go ahead. She said you ain't nothing without some Viagra. She said you ain't about nothing if you ain't got your blue pill.
Your Honor, you're absolutely right. But what I did find out being Superman that I was dealing with kryptonite. What I'm saying, Your Honor, is, you know, through our marriage, and again, it was a nice marriage. We have beautiful kids. Everything came down to money, you know, and when the money ran out, everything came down to money. And, you know, with me, you know,
how did the money run? What? How did your financial status change? What happened?
Well, financial status changed. Superman was giving kryptonite the money, and kryptonite was putting all the money in the bank.
After how many years?
All the 20. Not until I became independent. And independent is hard, Your Honor.
Your income changed at one point.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that led to the downfall or the downward spiral.
Well, that led to the downward spiral. And also, you know, I realized I had some x-ray vision, and I actually was able to see that she was cheating. And there was a couple of things I found out that she lied about and, you know, later on confessed to. But, you know, now she's, you know, through the divorce, and I'm happy for her, you know, now she's dating men that are more prominent, you know, firefighters, you know, and men that have their own businesses, you know, so you know, kryptonite is working in other arenas. And, you know, it's all about the money. I love my kids. I do everything for my kids. I just drove down to give my kid money for a yearbook. I got there about 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning and asked my ex if I could use the restroom.
How far away do you live?
I live about 2-hour drive, it could be.
And you asked to use the restroom?
I asked her if I could use the restroom, and she said, my house is sleeping. And I said, I didn't know I was gonna make a lot of noise using the restroom, you know, because I drove this far to give my kid the money that he wanted, and I made sure I did that for him, to find out the next day that the yearbooks weren't even on sale. So, but my son, I know he wanted it, and I was gonna do the fatherly thing and show up for him. All
right, and there wasn't a station around?
Oh, I had to go to the station, absolutely, yes.
Your Honor.
If you didn't pay your child support, like she say, you'd have to go to the station for sure.
If he had came right after work and made an effort to get there at a decent time, instead of 1:30 in the morning to keep calling and waking me up, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get my kids up ready for school. He keeps calling me, okay, I'm on my way. I'm almost there. I have to get some sleep at some point. So no, yes, my house was sleeping.
All right. Tell me about the child support. How does he owe you?
In December 2012, after I filed for divorce, Mr. Zachary and I, we came up with an agreement. We signed a declaration I filed with my divorce case, and it was a notarized agreement that we agreed to for child support.
And the court approved it?
Yes, he did.
All
It's
right.
also in the order of divorce
Because I always tell people you can't make a side agreement without court approval. You can
No, I
agree,
made sure that
but you have to get the court to approve. Otherwise, it's just an agreement between the two parties, and the court does not have to honor that agreement. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Go ahead.
Yes, they honored it. And because of our financial situation, we stayed in the same home until June of 2015, where the home had to be sold, so that's when we separated. And since then, Mr. Zachary has not paid any full
What was the order?
$2,100 a month for 3 kids.
$2,100? Mm-hmm. $700 per child?
The way it's broken down, it was broken down in increments for each child. I think my oldest son was the least amount, and it went higher
It
for
goes
each
by
child.
your income, so you must
Yeah.
have a pretty hefty income.
According to her, because she made all the documents, but that was the money.
You signed the document?
Absolutely, under duress. The day I signed the
Duress.
The duress was I wanted to save my marriage, Your Honor, and she
You
did
don't
not-
pay child support if you're married. You're talking about save your marriage. When you got to pay child support, your marriage is over.
Absolutely.
There was no duress. We went to a notary. We met with the lady. He signed it under no duress.
You signed it.
I think within the marriage, Keyshawn started to see other women on jobs and flirt with my sisters and make sexual innuendos with my niece. And I think that took a downward spiral,
When did he start that?
maybe 2-3 years into the marriage.
Plaintiff Cherie Stone Zachary was married to the defendant, and she believes he started cheating on her 2 years into the marriage.
How much have you paid?
Well, prior to that, Your Honor, I was actually paying her outside of the courts, and the courts eventually intervened when she realized that she wasn't getting 100% of my checks, which is what my ex-wife here wants. She doesn't want me to live at all. She doesn't want
I want
me
you to be responsible to your kid.
I've been responsible. I've given my life to my kids, and I've given my paycheck. A life works to you.
And how much has he paid?
They're saying he owes back child support of $22,671.49.
Okay, so you have an order there where they've determined how
Yes.
much he is in arrearage. All right, $22,000. Has he paid any? I mean, how has he been paying since?
He paid sporadically. He was unemployed for a while, and even with unemployment, he gets the maximum amount because of his salary. So that approximately for 6 weeks or so, he probably got about $4,000. He gave me a total of $350. Even with me following up with Department of Child Support Services, dealing with his employer has been horrible too, because first they said, oh, well, our system made a mistake, so we didn't take out the right amount. They still haven't corrected it. I don't know how long it takes for them to correct their system, but I know if they were paying him more than they should, they would have corrected it a long time ago. So I'm still only
Sir,
getting
what do you say to this?
$444.
Well,
They have you down for $22,000.
Well, you have in your possession, Your Honor, what I have been paying. I just recently, as I started this new job, immediately started getting wage garnishments from it. Prior to my unemployment, I was actually still giving her payments. Even when I was unemployed, I actually was giving her money from my previous employer. When I was working there, she would come to my job, demand my check. I would give her the check one time.
When?
Sir, we're talking about since December when you got the child support order. I see why you agreed to this.
So
You talking in circles and thinking in circles, sir. Let's talk about what occurred since the time you signed to agree to pay $700 per child, $2,100 a month. So what has happened since then?
I got off of $60,000 salary, and I was on unemployment for
When?
a portion of that time. January of 2015, I was on unemployment
All right. And how long were you unemployed?
for about 3 months, and then I got another position.
Okay.
And then that position laid me off, and I'm not quite sure. He said it wasn't enough work, but I think it was enough of her coming to my job, getting my
Now,
paycheck.
I don't want to hear that. Now, how much do you believe you've paid?
I believe I paid probably somewhere to the tune of about $7,200.
So he's not a deadbeat.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So,
I
but
never
this
said
is
you
a
were.
lot of money to owe. And I suggest, I don't want to take food out your mouth, ma'am, but I want to be fair. I suggest you go and try and get a modification.
Okay, I will
of
work
your
on that.
child support, and you might even want to spend a little money on a lawyer if they don't modify it just based on your going down to child support services, showing your income and making your plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In the meantime, I'm going to have to grant her judgment, enforce what the child support services has determined you owe in arrearage. And the maximum I can give you, of course, this is small claims, is $5,000. And I guess she wants that enforced at small claims because she assumes she can't get $22,000 out of you anytime soon. She need her money now.
Your Honor, I'd just like to show you a picture of my kids.
Let's
My
see.
son is
Yeah.
going off to college this year to Loyola Marymount University. He's got a full
Great.
scholarship. I just want to
Wow,
let you know I
they're-
haven't missed a beat with my
Ooh,
kids.
they're handsome kids.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And did the child support order or the divorce order require him to pay through college?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
They haven't
Well,
required.
you should get a
him to.
modification, ask him for that.
I have been so lenient with Mr. Zachary. He should have been paying both of my kids.
You've been
I
too
have-
lenient. You make this man pay $2,100 a month.
Yes.
That ain't
But he hasn't
three
paid
children.
it.
That ain't,
What she
well,
doesn't-
you made, you had him. You duped him
I'll
into
take
signing that order.
Hey, Your Honor, kryptonite. I've taken care of her all her life.
Stop talking silly. That's what your problem is. You talk
Thank
silly,
you,
that
Your
must
Honor.
mean you think silly. You better pay more attention to your
Irresponsible
business.
silliness.
Have a good day. Judging for the plaintiff.
Thank you. Irresponsible silliness.
Hey,
Exactly.
I am Superman, and don't forget it. You are
Okay.
still kryptonite.
You can be your
regardless.
Superman. Have at it.
Best thing you
Whatever.
ever lost was me.
You're a joke within yourself.
I'm not a joke. I'm the greatest
Thank
ever.
you. He's still their dad. All I want him to do is be a responsible father. That's all,
All I
need.
want to do is take care of my kids, make sure my kids have a great life.
And just stay out of my personal life, and we're all good.
Don't put me in your personal life, and I won't have
I'm
to be.
not.
Yeah, you are all the time. I was just at your house rubbing your back not too long ago. That's
Oh, 'cause
how
I was
I'm in your
sick.
personal
Thank
life.
you. I appreciate
Yes,
it. Thank you.
exactly. Kryptonite that always draws you back in.
Plaintiff Brandon Frere says he was an alcoholic when he met the defendant, and Brandon made a lot of mistakes back then. Brandon claims after he went to jail on an assault charge, he decided to turn his life around. Brandon suing the defendant today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Cody Alleman says he and Brandon used to party all the time together, and although he respects the fact that Brandon has since sobered up, he does not appreciate when Brandon criticizes his lifestyle choices. Cody insists his mother borrowed money from Brandon, so he should be suing her.
Start with you.
I met Cody when I was 22 years old. I met him when I was in a state of arrested development. We used to drink a lot together, and because of
Arrested
that,
development. That's a nice way to put it.
well, I made a lot of mistakes back then. I was doing things a lot my own way. I was very selfish and self-centered, and I wasn't listening to my parents at all. And I've
Were
had to
you
cool
an
my
alcoholic or a drug addict?
alcoholic, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I had to cool my heels in a jail cell to be able to sit there and get his perspective on my life and figure things
happened?
out. I
That's
got an
the
assault
arrested
charge,
part.
Your Honor.
The arrested development. Got it. All right. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. I understand.
I made a lot of mistakes back then. I was doing things a lot my own way. I was very selfish and self-centered, and I wasn't listening to my parents at all. And I've
Were
had to
you
cool
an
my
alcoholic or a drug addict?
alcoholic, Your Honor.
Okay.
Defendant Cody Alleman was friends with the plaintiff, and although he respects the fact that the plaintiff quit drinking and is now sober, he does not appreciate when Brandon criticizes his lifestyle choices.
How long were you in jail?
I was in and out, and I was struggling to figure things out until I just got fed up. It went on for about 3 years before I just decided enough's enough, and
When did you change?
when I was 26 years old, Your Honor,
Okay.
and then I woke up and
What have you
I
been
got
doing
sober.
since then?
I've been going to a lot of meetings. I've been going to college. I'm going to school for automation and robotics, and go to 4 meetings a week. I work the steps with my sponsor. I call my sponsor every single day. I'm not like all the rest of the nice people out here. I have a.
There's a couple alcoholics out there, I promise. Don't kid yourself.
Okay.
All right. Let me hear from you. Give me some background, sir.
Well, met Brandon here about, like you said, we're 22. We're just partying a lot together. We met through mutual partying buddies, and he got into some trouble and he got sober, and I definitely commend him on all that. But sometimes it comes off a little too judgmental on other people as they're still using or just drinking occasionally and whatnot. And I just, we kind of just fell out after all that. But I definitely give him mad respect on being sober. I mean, that's
What's your situation on that?
my situation on being sober.
Yeah, you're saying he gets judgmental. Does that mean he believes you drink too much or something? Does he criticize you?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, even if I'm just having, a couple of beers or whatnot, he wants to come over and preach a little bit extra, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have that beer, or maybe you should just calm down or whatever, even if I'm just there having a good time enjoying myself.
All right. Why are you suing your friend?
I'm suing my friend Cody Alamon because I gave him $3,000 to hire him a lawyer. He got himself some trouble. He got himself.
When did you do this?
In April of 2015, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's been about a year and a half now, and he still only paid me about $50. $50.
And when you ask about it, what does he say?
Well, I get excuse after excuse, and I'm sick and tired of hearing them. I hear, oh man, I just don't got it. I hear, oh, I'm supposed to get some money back from my taxes, and then it's going to. It's going to the doctor now. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, do I have welcome written on my forehead? I mean, Cody, does this say welcome on my forehead?
No, yeah.
It's because I'm not a doormat, Cody.
So
I'm not a doormat. I'm sick and tired of getting walked on.
Hey, people got bills, things, child support.
Yeah, I got bills.
Income. I mean, come on, man.
I got bills too, Cody.
Hopping through jobs and all that. I mean, this ain't easy, you know what I mean?
That's your
Not
defense?
for all of us. No.
What's your defense?
Well, so, okay, I got into some trouble back in April. It was, I was drinking. I got into a bar fight, and so I was talking with my mom, and Brandon's name came up because he had gotten to the same kind of similar altercation or situation, and so she talked to him about advice or whatever for a lawyer, and she ended up asking him to borrow some money for a lawyer. So my defense is that I don't think he should be suing me for the $3,000 because I'm not the one who borrowed it.
You should sue your mama for getting you out of jail. That's what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sue my mama. Real stand-up guy. Might be the case if you never spoke with him. You never told him you would pay him?
No.
You never acknowledged that you owed him?
No.
No, that's not even true, Your Honor. I spoke with him and his mom. I made this very clear.
Throwing mama under the bus. You see that right now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why I need you to start earlier than that in the process.
He got into some trouble and he got sober, and I definitely commend him on all that. But, sometimes it comes off a little too judgmental on other people as they're, still using or just drinking occasionally and whatnot. And I just, we kind of just fell out after all that. But I definitely give him mad respect on being sober. I mean,
Defendant Cody Alleman was friends with the plaintiff, and although he respects the fact that the plaintiff quit drinking and is now sober, he does not appreciate when Brandon criticizes his lifestyle choices.
Who called you, and who did you agree to give the money to?
I was called by Rhonda Meller, that's Cody's
His mother?
Yes, that's true, Your Honor. She called me to meet for coffee, and she told me the situation. She said Cody got himself into some serious trouble. She said she hit somebody with a bar stool. I was like, you can't do that. He's going to ring him up pretty good when he goes to court. So I say, you know what? I want Cody back. I think this will be a wake-up call for him. It was a wake-up call for me when I was doing stuff like that, so I'll do it. And I thought to myself, you know, I better check it in with Cody. We called. We had a conversation about what lawyer we're gonna hire. So we drove to the bank and
You were already intending to put the money in his mother's hand.
Yes, that's true, Your Honor.
And then you called him? When did you call him? That's my question.
I called him before I transferred the money. I was in the parking lot of the bank.
That's when you called him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was his mother with you?
His mother was in the car with me.
Who suggested calling him?
I don't remember exactly who called who, but I do know that the conversation took place.
The three of you all were on speakerphone?
Yes.
No, that's not even what happened on the conversation.
What happened, sir?
Go
ahead, you tell me what happened.
So from what I remember in the conversation, they just had brought up the fact that my mom was borrowing.
Who called you?
Brandon. My
Alone?
mom was with him.
They called you, handed the phone to each other, or?
They were on speakerphone.
They called you on speakerphone. What was said?
What was said is that Brandon was going to borrow my mom the $3,000 and that he had an idea for a lawyer, that it was one of his good buddies. Though there was no payment agreement that I would help pay or anything to that nature.
You know what, Cody? I can't believe you're going to do this to me, man. I mean, I got this right here. Right here. Your mom's own words, Cody. Your mom's own words.
They ain't my words.
That's your mom's words.
Not my words.
Your mom's words good as gold to me.
Two different people.
I had barbecue with your mom, man.
So have I.
I pet your dog.
With you. I fed your dog. What you mean? I play with your dog, bro.
Act of friendship.
Those ain't my words.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying. Come on now.
I picture a dog.
I, Rhonda Miller, borrowed $3,000 from Brandon Frere in April of 2015 for my son, Cody Alamon Sr. It was my understanding that he would pay it, he would help pay it back or just pay it back on his own, because it wasn't my loan. I paid $50 on this loan so far. Thank you, Rhonda Miller. That's right, your mom's words.
That took place between y'all two. I don't have nothing to do with that. Why don't you have my handwriting on it? Why don't you have me, you know what I'm saying, if I was supposed to help pay it back?
Let me see it, sir. You and your mom have a good relationship or not?
It's rocky, but...
Your mother ever talked to you about this?
Yeah, she has.
And what did you tell her when she asked about it?
She asked me like if I could help her pay it and this and that. I'm like, well, I don't have any money. I mean, I got other outstanding bills that I'm trying to pay off too. I got my unemployment I'm trying to pay off. Child support I'm trying to pay off.
You never told her you believe you should pay it?
I told her I'd help her if I could.
Help her. The problem you have here, sir, I, Rhonda Miller. That's the first three words. I borrowed. I borrowed. Didn't it say my son and I? For my son. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He borrowed it for me. In fact, this is the worst part. I've paid $50 on the loan so far. She's meeting the obligation. She's paying the debt. I'm trying to read this over and over, but it's going to be hard, sir. I got to be fair, and I have to go by the law. You admit that there was a conversation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And there was a misunderstanding. Right?
Well, it depends on which conversation you're going off. The conversation
The
that
conversation
he said that we had,
in the car, on the phone.
A payment arrangement was never brought up.
I understand. That the discussion, was it a misunderstanding?
No, Your Honor.
This man had been to court before, sir. Get beating, got that beating. I hate this.
Defendant Cody Alleman was friends with the plaintiff, and although he respects the fact that the plaintiff quit drinking and is now sober, He does not appreciate when Brandon criticizes his lifestyle choices.
If he'd have said it was a misunderstanding, I would have said there was no meeting of the minds, and that invalidates all contracts. But Mama says she understood, and he says he understood. I'm sorry, sir. You do have to sue his mother.
I
I'm
disagree
sorry.
with you, Your Honor.
I know you do, but this is the law.
Your Honor, if you look at it like this, though, he's the benefactor from this. He is the one who went to court. He's the one who got the lawyer. He's the one who got a reduced sentence. He's the one who did not suffer increased consequences. He's the one who benefited from me hiring a lawyer for him.
You're
so
right.
if anybody should be required to pay back this debt, it should be Cody.
All right, but I have to go by what you gave me. And she says, I borrowed. So you have to sue the mother, sir. You have to sue her. Claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Well, come through and I try to look like a knight in shining armor. I look like a moron wrapped in tinfoil carrying a cardboard sword, man. Look at me now. Like, I'm out all that money, and look at you. Look at you.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you're all right, man.
Yeah.
I hope you're gonna come and start paying me back.
I'm not the one that signed no papers, so, I mean.
Life ain't easy, man. I got my own problems to deal with.
I get that.
Plaintiff Olivia Jakubowski says the defendant is her mother, and they have always had a love-hate relationship. While Olivia admits that her mother has always been there to help, she insists it is always at a cost. Olivia is suing her mother today for stolen money and court fees. Defendant Sherelia Morton says she has supported her children by herself, with no help from anyone since the age of 20. And she has always been there for Olivia, and even put Olivia's house in her name. Sherelia is countersuing Olivia for unpaid loans.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, this is my mother, and we have kind of a strange relationship, a love-hate, as she explained back at Christmas. This is kind of hard for me.
Take your time.
I sold my house back in April to get away from an ex. At that time, my mother was the account holder of I'm on disability, which I have she helped me out a lot. My mother does help me in a lot of things that I need. I have 5 children, ages from 21 to age 9. If I need something, she's there to help me, but it's not without a cost. She makes you pay for her help. She doesn't do anything for free.
You want to give me some background, ma'am?
This is the oldest of my 2 children. I have been total support for my 2 children since I was 20 years old. Since
You've what?
1973, I've been total support for my 2 children. I have worked their entire lives. I asked nobody for help. I received no help, not even from their father.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I just can't do this anymore with my mother.
What is that?
The feuding, the downgrading,
What do you all feud about?
a lot of it is money. A lot of it is money.
Most of it?
Most of it, yes, is
So
money.
that means it started, when did you begin with disability?
I got entitled to disability in 2010.
So a lot of feuding since 2010?
Most of it, yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. I got back Social Security pay. My father had passed away. He was murdered, and I got benefits from that. With the assets of that money, my mother helped me buy a house for my 5 children, and that's where a lot of the issues,
Okay.
a lot of it came from.
Ma'am, let me hear from you.
My baby's got happy feet. She doesn't know how to sit in one place and settle down. She's right. She has 5 of my 7 grandchildren. I signed my name to a loan to get her a home because she'd been evicted at least 3 times with my grandchildren. And I put the house in my name because she couldn't get it financed in hers. I made sure that the lights were paid, the rent was paid, the house payment was made, and anything she would need that she had. Her disability checks came into a bank account that I opened in 2011. Her checks came straight into that account. Her house payment was directly pulled out.
Plaintiff Olivia Jakubowski says the defendant is her mother, and Olivia is suing her today for stealing money from her bank account.
When did all this begin?
When did what? The
Everything you just said regarding you
2011.
helping her to save her house.
2011.
Putting the money. When?
2011.
That's when all these financial issues started.
Right. But there was no fighting. There was no fighting.
Okay.
There was no arguing.
Well, she says it was, and you're
I'm sorry.
making reference to it as if it was not a good scenario.
It was a good scenario.
Okay,
It was all right.
That's not how you sound.
Okay, I'm
today.
sorry.
Whatever it was you said, ma'am, about her house and helping her and such, you didn't sound very pleased with it. You didn't sound pleased with her about all those issues.
To let you know, I've never been evicted from any
Yeah,
location.
you said she was evicted, all this. I'm sure you're not pleased about her being evicted.
I have
Go ahead.
custody of all 5 of my children. You know, I have 3 grown boys. I still have 2 children. And
Why are we suing her today?
we're here today. I sold my house in March. So in April and May, I did not have the house payments. So I had called her in reference into receiving those April and May's Social Security checks, which was $1,750. She indicated that I had owed her money. Let me show you is all that I heard from her. Let me show you, let me show you, let me show you.
Did she?
No, she did not show me. She did not have anything to show me. I did know that I had credit card debt with her when I sold my house. I have the statements that
How
shows.
much? The
This
credit
one's
card
cost-
debt. You're going to show me that? That's what I want to
Yes,
see.
it's going to say on there, Libby's car, the whole month of April, what she took out of that account of the debt that I did owe her.
So
that she took out
She
herself.
took it out of the account.
Yes, she did.
All right.
She took it out of the proceeds of the sale of my house.
All right.
And that's on there. It has the account balance of what the deposit of the check was, of the proceeds of the sale of my house.
Ma'am, you want to tell me about what she's just told me?
Yeah, the checks, her Social Security checks were $750. And she's right, her house, when it sold, there was $23,216.67 put into the account. That ended her home payments.
All right. So let me understand what I'm reading. There was a beginning balance of $23,000. You say that was from the proceeds of the sale of the house.
Yes, sir.
And then there was 12 checks debited. So that was paying something off.
That
Yes,
was
sir.
paying my mother off the money that I owed her, her credit cards, my cars,
The
everything.
$6,400. Is that correct?
It went all towards her bills.
Do you have that?
It states it where they went right beside each one of them when I do them online.
You have it? All right. $750. Looks like there were withdrawals, transfer. It certainly doesn't equal $6,000, ma'am.
Correct.
So $1,750 is what you say was taken. The other amount is court fees.
Correct.
All right, and it appears, ma'am, without having time to go over every single penny, I would estimate it to be about $1,750. That is unaccounted for, as she says. I don't think you intentionally took anything, quite frankly. I just think that there may have been a mistake or something. I don't know. You're not required to be a mathematician. And your counterclaim is for what, ma'am? The unpaid loans you're countersuing her for. How does she owe you for that?
When she first bought the house, there was things that needed to be done. She asked me for $3,000, which I loaned her. And she said she'd give it back to me. First, I was supposed to get it back when her father's benefits came in. Then I was supposed to get it back when she got her Social Security settlement. And then I was supposed to get it back when she sold the house. And I had a text message pertaining to that $3,000.
All right, let me ask her. Do you owe her $3,000?
No, Your Honor.
Based on what she told me?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's see it. She says she has a text
right
message
there.
pertaining to it.
I have the text message.
When I finish with you guys, I'll be a banker.
Yeah.
Wall Street. Yeah, I can leave this job and go to Wall Street for the big money. Yeah. But then I don't want to be a crook.
No.
I've been a crook before. I promised my mother I'd never go back to being a crook.
Plaintiff Olivia Jakubowski says the defendant is her mother, and Olivia is suing her today for stealing money from her bank account.
This is from you.
Yeah.
You paid for the kitchen, which I told you not to pay. We'll have to get settled another way.
Correct, Your Honor.
So she's saying, ma'am, that you paid something she did not authorize.
Correct, Your Honor.
She does authorize it. If you keep reading, she'll say, I know I owe you $3,000.
Okay. You know darn well you owed me. This is you, man. You know darn well you owed me over $3,000. So, okay. And defendant, when you called me to bail you out, you promised you would give it back. Plaintiff to defendant. Yes, I did say I would pay the bond back.
Until I found out she was the one that had me arrested.
Not knowing you were the one that had me arrested. Oh, no, ma'am. You shouldn't have handed me this, ma'am. This is the worst thing you could have handed me. Your text to her in response to that is, and yes, you did say you would pay me back for the bond, but then surprise, surprise, you got robbed.
That's what she told me.
We're talking about construction, ma'am.
Right.
So show
All
me
this-
something that says that. And you have it and you can't. So I'm going to have to dismiss your claim, ma'am. I think you're a little confused here. And I'm going to grant her her claim because her numbers add up. I'm going to grant you the claim of $1,320. That's what I'm going to grant you, which is reflected in the account she shares for you. Have a good day. $1,320 is your judgment. Ma'am, I must dismiss yours.